Okay, so let's talk about sweep. Just kneeling, right, from butterfly, right? So butterfly is generally where I sweep from.
Okay.
You're always going to control, here's my thing, right? You're always going to control the posts,
Okay.
which for me, let's say I want to sweep this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the key, if I'm going to sweep to either of these two quadrants, if we just using the simple 4-quadrant thing, if I leave him this arm, he's just going to stop me every
Okay.
time by reaching that way, right?
Right.
So like I won't sweep until I have that arm. Once I have this arm, there's a threat.
Okay.
There's at least a threat
Yeah.
that I sweep. If I don't have this sweep, any sweep I do, he's just gonna post.
Okay.
Now I could just sweep his ass, let him post, and then take away the post, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's valid, but that's less repeatable, right? It gives him a
Yeah.
chance. Like on a basic level, let me just take that shit away.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sweep until I take away a post. Would you say that's the same kind of fundamental you use, generally speaking?
Yeah.
On the rare occasion that I land sweeps.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ray's being humble.
Yeah.
He sweeps people, all right? But now, what's number 2? Like sit back all the way, right? So see, all his weight is still over. He has no weight weakness. His weight is completely back. He's the heaviest he's gonna be. He's the strongest,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Number 2 is I need to get him moving. I need to have some momentum, some off balancing.
Okay.
I would love it. Like now do something really dumb, like put this leg up. Oh my God, look. So naturally, just by the shape of his body,
Yeah.
look, he has more weight in this side. And this side is light. Like I couldn't ask for a better sweep. Because all I want to do is that. He's giving me everything, right?
Yeah.
But he's not going to give me everything. He's not, I mean, honestly, some people will. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes this guy just doesn't know what the hell to do. He's trying to like sweep my guard. I control his post. They put this leg up, they're just making a terrible white belt error,
Yeah.
right? But like if he's sitting back, right, I'm not gonna get a sweep until I can start to break his balance. He gets light, and then I just need some kind of means of throwing the dude,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
To be quite honest, with a lot of the people who you fight,
Mhm.
not the more experienced white belts, but sometimes the newer guys,
Mhm.
all right? And even blue belts, like even black belts, right? But sometimes people make mistakes with their center of base, with their balance, and they have a weak side.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just pull them into the weak side. And that's a hard situation for them because they got to catch themselves. If you can just block a post and just straight up pull a dude
Yeah.
when he's weak to it,
Yeah.
you catch sweeps.
Yeah. Does that same, I'm assuming it does, but does that same concept that you just talked about there apply to closed guard? When you have him in your closed guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually when they make the mistake,
Mm-hmm.
like that's a perfect example because usually he's trying to open the closed guard, and during the frustrating process of opening the closed guard,
Yeah.
he might bias his weight one way. He's telling you, I'm making this easier for you.
Okay.
I'm making this easier for you to sweep me which way?
So
In this
way.
shape.
Yeah, this way, right? 'Cause
For
I
me,
can
in
take away
these
the right
quadrants,
side.
this side's light,
Yeah.
this side's heavy,
So
I
into
just
the
need
heavy
some
side,
kind of
right?
post. Look here, right? Like if I'm like this, I'm narrow,
Mhm.
I'm not that laterally stable. If I'm like this, I'm very laterally stable.
Mhm.
If I go like this, I'm very laterally stable to this side.
Yeah.
And it's adjustable, but I'm very weak to this side
Yeah.
to get seated to my hip,
Okay.
which is all you need for a sweep.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Okay, so that's the theoretical of every single fucking sweep.
Okay.
And I can show you how that applies to every single sweep. Sometimes it's confusing because sometimes the balance, the posture break, the momentum, the movement, sometimes the movement generation
Yeah.
happens at the same time as the post control.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what's up? So that confuses people. It's not always sequentially. It's not always like, I get this, I execute my sweep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like, I get all three. But you have to understand that those are the three elements. And you
Okay.
have to have that feel of the quadrants and where people's weight is and when they're making errors And if they're not making errors, how do I have a means? Like what is a sweep in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Is just a means of moving them, creating momentum onto a side where they can't post.
Okay.
That is how all the sweeps work. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, enough talking, right? Now we just need to find a sweep that's good for you.
Okay.
You did 2 last night. You did single leg X sweeps.
Oh, yeah.
That I showed,
Yeah.
right? Those are fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good. What about from closed guard?
Closed
Do you
guard.
think that'd be a good place to start?
Sure. You
Okay.
use close guard.
Yeah.
So, from close guard, there are really, the most important one to learn is the flower sweep,
Okay.
okay? And then after the flower sweep, it's like that mechanism gets used to sweep a lot.
Okay.
The scissor sweep, which you see used a lot less, it's really very similar to the flower sweep. And it's not because I want you explicitly using scissor sweeps, because they're kind of counterable, but it's because you just the same way you use the flower like this, using this leg in this hip movement. Sometimes it's just a scissor, like you really want to be able to flower, to scissor with your shin, or to hook. The hook is using your instep and your shield. The flower is using the inside of your leg, and the scissor is using your knee and your shin.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let's kind of look at those 3.
Okay.
So, kind of for all 3, just for today, I'm going to be taking them this way,
Okay.
right? Just as a choice. So obviously, the most important things are that I control these 2 side posts. If I don't control this, both of them, if I don't control this, he'll post. If
Yeah.
I don't block his knee, he'll post with his leg. We'll talk about the cross post, it's super easy, okay?
Okay.
But let's not worry about that for now.
Okay.
Look, if I make some space, get into the scissor, right? I have the posts,
Yeah.
I have this blocked, double post blocked, right? Now, my only problem is if I can't get him moving forward. If I can't get his posture down, if I can't get him moving. If I can't get him moving, the sweep won't work. If I can get him moving, it works.
Yeah.
What's my sweeping mechanism? What's my main driver?
Yeah.
The point of my knee and my shin.
Okay.
Sweep number 2.
Okay. I was gonna say, do you want to do that? Then
We will, but
Okay.
let me just show you
Go
all
through
3.
them. Sure.
Sweep number 2, okay?
Mhm.
The first one I blocked with the side of my leg,
Yeah.
right? Sweep number 2, okay? I have this sleeve.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything crazy, right?
Yep.
Sweep number 2, look, I'm gonna plant my foot. What's this doing? I'm just blocking his knee and his leg, right?
Yep.
You see how now I'm taking that space? He can't sweep.
Yes.
He can't post, rather.
Yeah.
Now, when I dive, I'm using this lifting action. The lifting action and my body movement is also going to help me.
Okay.
But the main driver is now my hip and my leg,
Mm.
and I flower.
Okay.
Okay? That's the one that I'm going to show you because that's probably the most important one.
Okay.
That one or the hook sweep are the most important ones.
Okay.
Okay, now option 3, I control this shit, right? Again, I make space, but I get a butterfly hook in.
Mm.
Look, again, this is floating. This leg is acting as my post stopper. And when I suck in, I take him over, and I'm doing it with a lifting leg extension, leg press action.
Okay.
See kind of the 3 main ways that people sweep?
Yeah. What was that third one called?
Hook sweep.
Hook sweep.
Or a butterfly sweep. You know, let's, just so you see, right? Other people are gonna use like a spider hook
Yeah.
on the bicep. Just, it doesn't matter. It's how do I have something that can drive his weight,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So look, here's the one that I wanna focus on, that I wanna drill. Just start, okay?
Okay.
Because this is most easily accessible from close guard.
Okay.
If you have a gi, I want you on the sleeve.
Okay.
Because I want you to simply learn, I want you to just take risks today.
Okay.
So I just want you to control wrist, palm down,
Okay.
okay? Now 2, while you're controlling the wrist, I want you on the collar, because if you can, his posture should be locked already pre-broken at 45 degrees.
Okay.
I don't want him full back, full strong. It's not gonna work.
Okay.
It's not gonna work from full posture. So you're fighting until he's pre-broken down.
Okay.
Now you sense a vulnerable possibility. I just keep my elbow in to keep him locked at 45
Okay.
for a second. Now, this foot, it is, for drilling, it can be slow, but it's gonna be a kind of quick thing. This foot is just going to plank. It's very important, this foot doesn't have to do anything, but it's very important that it be flush.
Flush.
That's how you're blocking the post. If you step out, I see this all the time, he can move his leg. He
Yeah.
can post, he can adjust.
Okay.
I don't need to do much with this leg, but it must be in the way.
Okay.
So it has to be sticky,
Okay.
okay? Now, this hand is going to let go for a moment. And when I let go, I have to kind of commit. It's going to it's gonna ride the line of my body, and in that small gap, it's gonna go under his leg. Now, don't be tempted to lift. Even though you are gonna lift,
Yeah.
I'm not going to bicep and front raise his whole body.
Right.
It's just a helper. It's
Okay.
not the important thing. It's also gonna help me shift. It's gonna make the hip escape really easy. The inside of my knee and my whole body shifting is gonna throw him into that upper quadrant on 45 degrees really easily. And now, because I can lift this leg when he's light, that's gonna help me transition my hips over and get on top.
Okay.
So, one more time, right?
Yeah.
Really simple.
And this is the flower.
This is the flower, the flower sleeve. I'm collar sleeve, basically. I'm collar sleeve, collar wrist. I have good posture, I have my moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna block. I'm diving and shifting, and I'm specifically throwing him up at 45 degrees.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, drill that.
All right, great.
Yeah.
I like this one.
I'm just gonna go say hello.
Yeah. All right. So I have this right. And I have here, right down to that 45.
You know we're at 6:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, they can do that. Yes. I want you to, don't think it's too much for leg movement, but as you go, I want you to practice pushing with your leg, with the inside of your knee. Pushing up 45 degrees.
Pushing
As you
up.
make that whole transition. That wasn't bad.
Okay. Here. Flush.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm specifically teaching you how to do this, no gi.
Okay.
In the gi, if you have the sleeve, you can also just get the pants outside the knee. You think that, see how that could help you?
Yeah.
That could act as the same as the underhook.
Yeah.
But when I
Oh,
teach this,
yeah.
a common mistake is they go all arm,
Okay.
and when really it's all your hip, your leg anyway. Like you may not even need the underhook.
Okay.
But they get confused by the arm. But just realize it can be as easy as just like boom, bam, pull the trigger.
Okay.
Just little no
And as I get better, is the goal of this move to sort of make, when I put that foot down flush and I'm getting underneath that leg, is that transition kind of using my leg to drive up? Is that all one movement?
Yes, this should be all.
Right, I
one
don't-
movement.
if
It
I
should,
tell
it
myself
should
what I'm
be
doing-
in real, in kind of real speed, right?
Yeah.
We should really just be fighting, right? And I should just kind of shoot it. I gotta kind of
Okay.
do everything. It was a little sloppy, but it's like you gotta do everything kind of. It's not so rushed that it's all at once,
Okay.
but it's in such a short chronological flow that it's almost
But you
at
can't
the
really
same time.
adjust his
Yeah.
pace,
If
right?
you do it slowly, he's gonna sink back like a crazy person. You're not
Yeah.
gonna get the sweep.
Okay.
Sweeps have to be in time. Like you gotta send it. You gotta commit, and you gotta go for it.
And in my mind, the trigger of like, okay, sweep is available is when I break his posture down to that dangerous 45 that you talk about. Is that
So-
like my trigger?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm very good at sweeps.
Okay.
The reason that I'm good at them is because I commit to really strong body locks, so
Okay.
that I can just full on throw the body around the direction that I want.
Okay.
So I just commit to taking full control over what direction the body's gonna move in.
Okay.
It's hard. Sweeping is not that easy.
Yeah.
I dedicate a lot of time to it.
Okay.
I'm not as good at submissions
Mm.
because I put more time into sweeps.
Okay.
Right. But I just commit to being able to move the body, right?
Okay.
Depending on who you are,
Yeah.
like right now, your best chance to get sweeps is when you feel people fucking up their weight distribution.
Okay.
If you feel a guy going right heavy,
Yeah.
you pull the trigger on the flower right. If you feel him going left heavy, you pull the trigger on the flower left.
Mm.
Just hold them down, let them freak out, let them commit a little mistake with their weight, and
Yeah.
then move them, so you don't have to do as much work.
Okay.
It's hard as hell. Like when you're just trying to move a guy,
Yeah.
he's gonna commit to just going away or
Yeah.
being strong, and it's hard to actually execute.
Okay.
So just take advantage of mistakes until you get the feel.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll get Ray Alex time.
Bring it down here.
Yeah, good. If you hold the wrist, hold the palm down.
Hold the palm down. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I?
Because you can, then you can just bench it across.
Okay.
Whereas if you're holding it palm up, yeah, like see how that pushes it in a way that it pushes it the wrong way. Just do
Okay.
it.
Okay. And I should maintain that that wrist control until I'm on top. Okay.
Like Ray, when he does it, the hand that he's controlling, try to post with it. All right. Yeah, see, that works, right? You felt Ray trying to put his hand out?
Yeah.
And they're gonna try.
Okay.
Even if you control it, they're gonna be trying to get a hand.
Yeah.
Really, Ray's gonna cross post and do all this crazy nonsense, but like, we'll get there.
Okay.
Leg lock. Yeah, it's gonna fall over and fall into a leg entanglement. Different class. Yeah, that's really good. It
Yeah.
it can be that simple.
Yeah, it
This
feels
is a
very
real move,
natural.
okay? And
Okay.
this move is also very good for people who are long, and you're long.
Yeah.
Thiago's good at this move.
Yeah.
He's long.
Yeah. I know a couple of those long blue belts always get me with this sweep.
Why don't you, so another thing that I just see a lot is that people aren't comfortable throwing into these quadrants over their head,
Yeah.
all right? And that's a very important thing, actually.
Okay.
Because normally the quadrants over your head are hands, not legs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because how do I get my legs up there, especially in closed guard, right?
Unless you're Fedor.
Unless you're Fedor. So you gotta be able to generate force up there. That's very important. You always have to be able to sweep over your head.
Sweep it over your head. Okay.
Yeah. Get 5 reps going the other side.
On the other way?
The mirror
Okay.
image.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Raise
Yeah.
like double duty.
I'm gonna take a leak. I'll be back.
Double is regular.
20 seconds.
I know.
I'm
Triple duty.
Oh, good. I can reset my phone.
You get to do 2 or 3 rounds, right?
Yeah.
I haven't, I'm not getting to it, but I actually like really want to help you too, as best I can. What do you need? I got it. When we start going, don't give them too much, but like we'll basically do a specific round. Like give them a couple, you know, maybe give them some weight distribution errors, just so that we can be like, take it, you know, like so you can actually feel that, apply that a couple times, and then just roll, you know. So he feels how hard, yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, try mirror image.